Good evening, boxing world, and welcome to another edition of Fantasy Bout Hour, the channel dedicated to bringing you fantasy matchups on a regular basis. If there's a particular matchup that you want me to cover, please leave it in the comments section, and I promise to honor your request. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification. Let's keep those likes up. The fight that I'll be covering in this video comes by way of request, and it's coming from Manzano HD. I thank you for your request, and I thank you for participating in the channel. The fight that he mentioned is Iron Mike Tyson versus Deontay Bronze Bomber Wilder. I like to start off with each fighter's strengths and weaknesses. Let's start off with Deontay Wilder. Some of his strengths is his athleticism, his conditioning, and his one-punch fight-changing power. And he has a size advantage in this fight. As far as his weaknesses, he has an over-reliance on his power, and he has bad balance. Let's move on to Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson has speed, footwork, head movement, the ability to throw punches from every angle, and his ability to intimidate his opponents. And of course, his crushing power. As far as his weaknesses, the truth is, Iron Mike Tyson didn't handle adversity well, and he often fell short against fighters that he couldn't intimidate. And also, a good jab could give him trouble. Some of the things they had in common is their explosive power, their explosive one-punch power that could change the fight. The conclusion is Wilder has a decent jab, but not enough to tame Tyson and to keep him off of him. I think Tyson would bull rush him by going to the body at first and finishing upstairs. So I'm going with Iron Mike Tyson by early knockout. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next video. Good evening, boxing world, and welcome to another edition of Fantasy Bout Hour, the channel dedicated to bringing you fantasy matchups on a regular basis. If there's a particular matchup that you want me to cover, please leave it in the comments section, and I promise to honor your requests. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit that bell notification, and let's keep the likes up. The fight that I'm bringing you this evening comes by way of request, and it's coming from Manzano HD. I thank you for your request, and I thank you for participating in the channel. The fight that he mentioned was Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford. I like to start off with each fighter's strengths and weaknesses. Let's start off with Bud. Bud's strengths is his speed, his timing, his power, great footwork, and his greatest attribute is his ability to switch hit. And some of his weaknesses. The only weakness I can think of is his chin. He doesn't take the greatest punch. Okay, let's talk about Mayweather's strengths and weaknesses. As far as his strengths, there's too many things to name, to tell you the truth. He did everything right. What can I say? Let's talk about some of his weaknesses. Early in his career, southpaws gave him trouble, but he overcame that. And maulers also gave him trouble, but the reality is he always made the adjustments to win. Let's talk about some of the things they have in common. They're both technically sound fighters with speed, defense, power, and everything else. With that being said, I have to go with Mayweather. Just based on his level of opposition, his experience, and his ability to adjust. So I would go with Floyd by unanimous decision. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next video.